Well, hey guys, how's it going this morning? What a beautiful day on Old Hickory Lake. I got out here pretty early this morning. It was before daylight, and the moon was just ginormous. It was beautiful over here, and sun started coming up over here, just a real kind of a pink glow, and there was nobody else out here. I was out here by myself, and I just thought, man, how great is it that I get a chance to come out here and enjoy the lake and enjoy just hanging out. It's a beautiful morning this morning. And then I started thinking about some of my clients and a lot of the people in the mastermind group. And I don't know, it was kind of weird. My heart just kind of got heavy for some folks. And I started thinking, it's not always like this, right? It's not always beautiful and the birds and the fish and the moon and the sun coming up and everything is good. And put my earphones on, started listening to some music, and I thought, man, God, thank you for allowing me to be able to do this. But that's not always been the case. Life sucks sometimes, just to be honest with you. I don't mean to be uh, so pointed about that, but the truth is, it does. It's not always easy. And I started kind of reflecting back over the years. I'm going into my 45th year being an entrepreneur, self-employed, 45 years. And I feel so blessed. I feel so encouraged, but man, there was some times that it wasn't good. And I want to encourage some of you today that's going through some difficult situations. Um, Robin and I got married a couple of weeks out of high school. And I remember about a year into that, sitting at our kitchen table in our little 600 square foot condo, uh, tears running down my cheeks. And Robin goes, "What in the world? What is the matter?" And I said, "We can't pay our bills." She said, "What do you mean we can't pay our bills? We got this business and we're doing good and we can't pay our bills." And I said, "No, we've charged all these things on these credit cards and we've borrowed more money than we can afford to pay back right now. And I don't know what we're going to do." Like at that time, it wasn't like an insurmountable amount of money, but the point remains I couldn't pay my bills, whatever the amount was. And I told her, I said, "Hey, go get your pocketbook." And I got my billfold out and I got the credit cards out. She got her credit cards out. We put them in an envelope and we sealed it. I was scared to cut them up at the time. I was thinking like, maybe we'll need them in the future. But I remember going to First American National Bank and putting those credit cards in the safety deposit box. And I said, we're never going to do this again. Like, I don't like that feeling not being able to pay our bills. And I don't want to do that again. So my point in telling you that quick little story is it made me a better businessman. It made me pay attention to a budget. It made me pay attention to live on less than we make. It made me pay attention to saving for the future. So that's a small thing. But about 2 years later, I came home from the office and Robin was standing in our bedroom and she was 3 months pregnant and she was hemorrhaging. Like it was terrible. And she was so upset. And I called the doctor and he said, "Get to the emergency room." We went to the emergency room and he examined Robin and he came out in the hall and he told me, he said, "Mr. Walker," he said, "the chances of this baby being born are slim to none. If by some miracle the baby is born, uh, the chances of it being normal are it's 100%. There's no way this baby's going to be normal. It's going to be some kind of difficulty. Robin's lost too much blood, and there's going to be consequences to this from a health standpoint. And I just want you to know there's other options." And I was a little bit naive at the time, and I was like, "What do you mean other options?" He said, "Well, we can end this pregnancy right now." And I'm like, "Whoa, whoa." We're like I'm pro-life. Like I don't want to do that. And went in and talked to Robin, and I remember us praying together and crying together. And I said, "There's not another option." And she said, "No, there's not." And I remember I went home and I got this Christmas tree. It was Christmas Eve, and I brought it up there, and the nurses stopped me. They said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Taking this Christmas tree into our room." And Right. And the nurses said, you can't do that. And I said, listen, I'm already upset. Somebody's going to get hurt bad if you don't get out of the way, because I'm taking this in to my wife. And I went in, took the presents, and we had Christmas the next morning there. Robin spent 6 months in the bed with her feet propped up. June the 10th of 1986, Holly was born, my daughter now, healthy as can be, beautiful girl. And I'm like, what did that teach me? Well, it taught me to trust, right? I'm Christian by faith, and it taught me to lean into my faith and trust. And you may be facing a situation right now that requires a lot more faith. Like, I don't understand, I don't get it. Lean into your core values, lean into your faith and trust. Now, some of you have gone through similar circumstances and situations, and you miscarried. It didn't work out. And I don't know. I can't explain that. Like, I don't know why that's the case. God maybe was protecting you against something, protecting the child, taught you something through that process. I don't know what that is. I know it's hard, and I know you don't understand it at that time. But if we really lean in and we really try to make the best of that situation and hold on to our faith, or I don't get it. I don't get it. It's hard. I don't understand. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you I understand, because I don't. But I do know that I learned another valuable life lesson, and that was trust. It was just like, hey, I don't get it. That's why I'm Christian by faith. That's why I'm leaning in, and I'm going to trust. Now, you say, well, Big A, what happens if Robin didn't have Holly? Well, I still got to trust. I still got to be like, hey, God loves me, and I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but I've still got to trust. And it wasn't too many years after that I got into a business deal with a guy, and he cheated me out of $40,000, and I grew to hate that guy, and carried that burden around with me for a couple of years, and went on a hunting trip. Some of you know this story. I wrote it in my book, View from the Top, when I wrote that book, and I forgave the guy on the trip. Like, he didn't deserve to be forgiven. Right? It was a fluke thing how that worked out, that we were on this same hunting trip. But what I learned through that process was forgiveness. It was like he didn't even deserve forgiveness, but I was the one that was really struggling. Like, I was the one that was carrying this burden around, that my filter had become bitterness and anger and hatred, and I had to learn to give that up. And you're like, why are you telling me these stories? Well, some of you today are facing similar situations. And what I'm so encouraged by is that I can look back on all these situations, and I can see how it molded me into a better person, a better business person. I've been able to take those experiences. Did it suck at the time? Royally. Like, it was terrible. When I think about all the things and the feelings I was experiencing at the time, and it wasn't but about 3 years after that, you're like, Big A, your life was riddled with all these problems. And it has been. 2001, I ran over a pedestrian. And I'm like, how much worse does it get than that? You have a car wreck and you kill a pedestrian. And man, it took me a few years to work through that. But I look back now and think it was the paradigm shift of my life, becoming a giver and not a taker. See, I was a taker at the time. I was just concerned about my life and my experiences and what little bit of money we had and how we could have a bigger house and a place on the beach and all these things. And I was so self-consumed. And God showed me through that you need to look outward. You need to work on building a legacy. You need to work on helping and encouraging other people. I didn't see it at the time, though. I thought, what have I done to deserve this? That's what I felt. I was like, how much worse could it get? Like, I went in my bedroom, and I didn't want to come out, and had to go to counselors, had to get people around me to encourage me to work through that. A lot of y'all are going through stuff like that right now. You're going through a time where you're like, I don't understand why I can't make the sale, or I don't understand why my finances are not working out. I don't understand how come I can't get pregnant. I don't understand how come this business deal has worked out the way it has, or this business partner has cheated me. Like, I don't know. I don't know why those things happen. All I know is that I'm not able to predict what's going to happen to me. The only thing I'm in charge of is the way I respond. That's it. That's all I can do. my response to these difficult times is really the only thing that I'm in charge of. So we have a choice today. Like we're getting up today and we're, watching the news, we're taking a shower, we're shaving, we're getting ready to go to the office, and you feel this sense of burden. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's hard. I want to encourage you to work through that. Have that determination, that grit, that perseverance. Like if everybody could do it, right, it would be easy, and you wouldn't get the same sense of satisfaction out of working through the difficulties, right? It's the weightlifting, it's the pushing through, it's the tearing the muscle, it's building it back. It's going to make you stronger. I promise you it's going to make you stronger. But you don't see it today because you're in the storm. But I want to tell you that sunshine up there, it's going to come up again tomorrow, and you're going to learn a valuable lesson as a result of going through these difficulties, and it's going to make you a better person. It's going to make you a better business person. It's going to make you a better husband. It's going to make you a better dad. It's going to make you a better colleague and a peer. It's going to make you better. I promise you it's going to make you better. And you're going to see the other side of it when you come out. And you're going to go, man, I don't want to repeat the class, but I'm so grateful for the experience because it's molded me and it's made me better and it's made me who I am today. And so you're able then to go out and do greater things. You're able to go out then and weather the storms. You're able to go out then and able to teach your children, teach your grandchildren, and teach other people to weather the storm. So whatever it is right now that you're dealing with, whatever you're going through right now, I promise you it's going to make you better in the long run. So keep your head up, keep pushing forward, hold on to your faith, lean in, get people around you, share the situation that you're going through. Don't lie to yourself. Own the situation that you're going through. Whatever it is, go, you know what? Here it is, the good, the bad, the ugly. Everything that I'm going through right now, this is the factual data. This is what I'm going through, right? Don't look the other way. Don't be the ostrich and put your head in the sand. Like, own it and say, how can I get out of this? Because the sooner you own it, the sooner you acknowledge it, the sooner you realize it's the circumstances that you're dealing with, the faster you're going to get out of it. So get your head up. Let's go. Let's rock this thing and go out today and do all that you were created to do. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you.